in history. And then, okay, so we'll do it like this. I'll give you a time period, and then you tell me about the history that you understand during that time, or what would be a common knowledge fact, I guess, of that time. So if I say 1600s, just the average person would say kings and queens, England, a lot of ships moving to other places, to the New World, and that kind of thing. That's kind of generally what people would think, right?
That's right, yeah.
Of that time period.
Yeah, because I guess that's a time where there's an exploration element going on. They want to find new trade routes to the Americas, and obviously it's the Far East. They want to bring new foods in. They want to move people as well. And I guess from there you have a lot of people trying new things for the first time. So sugar, potatoes have been brought into the Western countries. So food is changing. So I guess at that time, when there's that modern minimum happening, we're kind of perhaps compensating by bringing in food for other areas. Is that how would you see that as well?
Yeah, because especially the Roman Empire, if I say 535 AD, late Antique Little Ice Age, how many people really have recollection and can actually tell me something or know something about that little era of time when it was the actual end of the decimation and Roman Empire finished? Actually, right around 400 AD was that end of that grand solar minimum. They don't even have a name for it, it's so far back. But then they started to come out, the warming started again, and then wham, they had 3 massive, like VEI 7 eruptions during the same couple of years. And there was so much ash on the planet, whoosh, temperatures plunged back down again. Romans couldn't feed their people. And if you look around like 380 or say 350 AD, why did the Romans just try to expand so much at that time? You think they were doing it really for economic purposes? No way. They were looking for more food grow zones, hoping they could find another place that could bring more grains in to keep the people satiated. So you see these land expansions and these kind of power plays across the planet looking for resources. Follow the timelines of those two. Because do you think that Genghis Khan just one day woke up and said, let's go invade the entire planet today? You think Zhonghua, that Zhonghua is like the Christopher Columbus of China. See, China thought another grand solar minimum was starting, so they sent him over to Africa to look for new trade routes. And guess what? They're back in Africa today. They must have known something about a cycle in returning rainfall, because Chinese are over in Africa with all their investment projects. But what's so interesting, chase back the voyages of Zhonghua, that's Zhenghe, Zhonghua. And where did they go? He was trying to get off of trading with Eastern Africa and get that whole trade route established with East Africa, from India to Peshawar over to Africa, just like we see the string of pearls today. Imagine that.
So these cycles are, so every 400 years, is that their average? And it comes to peaks and troughs in those points?
Yeah, now the 400 years are the super intense ones, but in the middle there's a little light one. It's like a quick little, they're very short, 10, 15 years, and solar activity declines just enough to affect a little bit of food production. But then on the 400 years, really where you get these massive declines in population, governments, food production, climate shifting tremendously. Like we're in the beginning of this new shift right now. So this is why the weather's so tumultuous around the planet. And it's always in the beginning of the shift because everything's been stable for 400 years. And now it's getting bashed out of place. So everything's trying to collide in the atmosphere. Got new jet streams moving to new places. Oh, wait, there's already a jet stream there. Get out of the way. Well, now we got a doubling or tripling of jet streams over those areas, and we're getting these massive rainouts. Cloud bands are shifting. This beginning part of it's the most ferocious in the weather changes. So after about 10 years, it should stabilize more, but then it's just going to get cooler for a while, and then we'll come out of it. And apparently coming out of it, the weather's not as mixed up as it is going into it, because everything is kind of morphed and shifted around, and nothing's really stuck stably for centuries and centuries to move to a new pattern. It's only been there for a decade or decade and a half or two, max 20 years, and then it starts to shift out again. So that's not really locked in stone as it would be on a multi-century pattern.
So what's this window all about? This is my melting pot home to different kinds of content, the things that interest me, products that I'm presently doing or have been involved with. I have a thirst for knowledge, inspiration, adventure, and discovery. There's presentations, talks, completed film projects, documentary material, edits of some of the live performances that have been the videographer and the editor behind, accessible how-tos and blog content. I have a passion for exploring our curious world. That has led to the creation of the video and audio podcast that I produce and host called Our Curious World. about having genuine conversations with guests across various topics, engaging with people, inspired by the Joe Rogan Experience and Coast to Coast AM. I love talking about the things that have us asking questions and learning along the way. We really do live in interesting and fascinating times. Join me on this journey figuring stuff out and producing material along the way. Hit up a like, a subscribe, and join the conversation.